to move a little bit.
And we're live.
Are we live?
Yeah.
How long we haven't been live on YouTube?
Yeah, long time no see, guys.
I remember last time I was going to the beach, you were going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Nea Makri. I think we were somewhere between Marathon and Nea Makri, which is also the location of the first Mediterranean retreat. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to take place there. So it's going to be something amazing.
This year in June, if everything goes well. If travel ban doesn't exist, and if all our dear American, Australian friends will be able to join us. If not, we're going to make it with Greeks. Then wait for another year. But let's hope that will not happen. Hello to everybody. I know that we haven't been live on YouTube for longer, and maybe we won't have standard watchers and participants. Let us just have a little bit of this nice Hermes sign in the frame. Okay, so we are using computer, not a phone, so the quality of image might not be the best. We will work on that because the YouTube, for some reason, doesn't allow us to go live from a phone in this location. So we maybe will not have this nice crispy image like we used to have on Facebook.
But we are here to talk about Keto Mediterranean dieting, and that's all. We care about KMD, real food, solid food that makes us feel good, and of course, it's keep our health on track. It's really important to keep consuming all those ruminant animal meats, eggs, fish, of course, quality goat and sheep dairy. If you have the possibility to buy buffalo, that's going to be excellent source too. And of course, to use as a side dish, always we're saying about it, veggies or a salad. That's going to be the optimum.
Today on Twitter, I read that there's like the population of deer in United Kingdom, it's going up. It's a disbalance in nature because there's less demand from the restaurants. So hunters are not going hunting, and those animals are starting to overproduce. Well, natural balance of things, it's not in order because we are somewhere there in the feeding chain. We are on top. And they used to be our primary food. When we, as humans, first discovered that we are able to hunt, that we are smart enough and strong enough to hunt, then we built tools and we started hunting. Approximately around that time is our development, especially our brain development, went up because we started eating meat, fresh, natural, organic. Why fresh? Because ancient people didn't have ability to preserve it. Much later, during antiquity, they came up with the ideas how to preserve it using salt, smoke, and drying methods, but even fermentation. But before that, they would eat immediately after they would hunt.
Let's not forget that animal-based foods are all year round available, guys. That's really important to understand, and especially countries which are from Northern Hemisphere, it's really hard to obtain plant-based foods. So always, and we see lately all those movements for plant-based food, they are from the northern countries. This is a little bit funny to see it, but we need to understand that animal-based food is available all year round, and it's really quality, and we need to consume it for several reasons. For example, we are depleting vitamin D during the winter. We want vitamin D through our fish and, of course, eggs. And don't forget the variety of meats we can have.
Exactly. Paulita is with us. Welcome, Paulita. Thank you for joining us. We posted a link on Facebook, both and Twitter, so anybody can. We also posted an announcement that we will revive our YouTube lives. We think that we should be available to more people. Our live videos actually, when they are only streamed on Facebook, they're usually not watched by people who don't have Facebook, because you have to have a Facebook account in order to watch a video, but you don't have to have YouTube account. But everybody today has Gmail, but even if you don't, it's not a problem. You can watch this live stream, rewatch it later. So that's why we decided to go back on YouTube. We believe it's a fair platform, so let's see where this takes us. Our goal is that Keto Mediterranean, the word of Keto Mediterranean lifestyle comes to more people. I received a couple of messages today from countries where I wouldn't even believe that somebody would follow Mediterranean keto. This what we are trying to promote on Grigos Keto, and we call it KMD. I received a message from Ecuador, and the other message from I don't know, Paulita, was it somebody of yours, a family member or something like that? It was also from Costa Rica. But this from Ecuador reminded me of you. I don't know, I'll talk to you later, so we will see. Maybe it's one of your relatives who heard about KMD. Anyway, we are... luckily, my other phone
send notifications as well.
Notification. That's nice. That's really nice. We are glad you are with us. As I said, I know we won't have so many viewers during the live, but this will be posted so people will be able to rewatch it.
And we are able to retain the resolution. I think this is really important for us to keep all those videos, because a lot of people are watching them later, and it's really important to take all this info and utilize it. We got the question, what you are usually eating or drinking during our fast.
Oh, I remember that question.
Yeah, it's really important to understand that when you're following in KMD, you need really quality foods. And of course, you want really quality coffee if you're doing coffee, or tea, your herbs to be really quality. You cannot go with low-class foods. The reason is you need to invest money in those foods, actually, because it's not that you are spending your money. You need to understand the difference. You don't want to spend money, but you want to invest money.
Hello, Richard.
Richard
welcome.
Is here. Hello.
We decided to go live on YouTube because we want to be more available. We want to be available to people who have never heard about KMD. So it's quite easy to find us. Patty is with us. Hello, Patty. It's really nice to see your name whenever we are doing these lives, to see our ketonians who have been supporting Grigos Keto, who helped us grow, and who else actually has been with us for a couple of years. So Patty says, hi, you too. I'm taking a social media break. That's really a clever idea. But got your live noticed. Good to see you. It's really good to see you too. It's like
thank you for joining us.
I don't see YouTube as social media. YouTube, I see it as people's TV. It's like today, actually, I was watching a show. I was watching a talk show, a really interesting talk show with a psychologist, a very good lady, who talked a lot about coping with this situation, coping with the world politics, with everything that has been going around. And I realized that half of a day the TV was on only with YouTube. So we said, why we don't do the same thing? Maybe somebody will be browsing YouTube and find Grigos Keto, and then hear what we have to say about KMD. Keto Mediterranean lifestyle, diet, call it whatever you want, just do it properly, do it the way ancestors did. That's why I mentioned the hunters, original ketonians. Why I say original ketonians? Well, our ancestors originally didn't eat wheat, didn't eat that much carbs, because fruits were not available all year around, and honey was so difficult to obtain. Bees were rare, and even if they would find some honey, it would be so small amounts. So carbs were literally berries or a little bit of roots that they would find to be edible. But by edible, we don't mean that they would be a staple of their nutrition. Meat, hunting, fishing, that was their staple. So they were original.
Exactly. And another actually interesting question that popped up in my Greek YouTube channel was about honey and carnivore. Carnivores keep promoting, says honey. Not all, but
there's a branch of carnivores who keep saying that honey is animal product, therefore it falls into carnivore.
Yeah, it's suitable for consumption. Yeah. First of all, we need to see again availability. Always we're talking about availability, and honey, especially because we're in the northern hemisphere, we have winter, is not available. Bees could not possibly produce honey. That honey that we have in the shelves of the stores, we know that is
rarely biological, rarely
and
organic.
It's old. Going back to say that it's animal-based food, insect-based food, maybe it's something different, because you can see if you're gonna check a little bit the carbohydrates, for example, biochemistry. Yeah, we're talking about plants. They have starch. This is the starch carbohydrates there for the plants. For us, is glucose. The honey contains fructose and glucose, and insects, they don't have the same carbohydrates. They have casein. This is something totally different when it comes to carbohydrate that has it's only you can be found in insects. So we're talking about total different bioconstruction. So for me, I think it's really important, especially if you are fighting obesity, diabetes, or those stuff, to stay away from honey. And you need to have, if you consume honey, something really, really high in quality. You cannot go with something that is half from China, half from Portugal, half from Spain.
Let's talk about the compounds. I read not long ago, I was talking with one of the biggest Grigos keto fans, and we were seeing all the sugars in honey and comparing them. Fructose was number one. And not all honeys have the same amount of fructose, but most of the modern honeys, the majority of sugar in honey. But they also have sucrose.
Sucrose is just two molecules of one of glucose and one of fructose. When you're combining those two monosaccharides, what you get sucrose, the table sugar. That's it. And it would be good if we consume primarily a little bit glucose, because glucose immediately turns into energy, or we're going to store it as a muscle glycogen, or of course liver glycogen. And this is really important until we're going to fill up those tanks. But fructose, what's going on with fructose? It's necessary to understand that fructose is metabolized only by the liver. And that means 10% is going to turn into energy, into glucose. And after that, all the other is going to be adipose tissue. We need to know that. It's basic chemistry.
It has also maltose.
Yeah, maltose is...
honey has maltose, guys. Can you believe it? So many sugars. It's not only the health jeopardizing fructose that's a problem, but all the other sugars. So I don't know where these carnivores find the honey they are consuming, but I'm 1,000,000% sure that they are not bee keepers. If they are beekeepers, okay, if you know what your bees are collecting from what type of fields and flowers, or is it in the forest? For example, pine tree forest is great for honey, but rarely any of them can consume that much sugar. Because why they switch to carnivore? Most of them switch to carnivore because of huge health issues related to metabolic syndrome. Everybody who has tried carnivore had some sort of gut microflora problem or some inflammatory disease which caused them swelling, pain, problems in digestion.
Fatty liver, yeah.
Fatty liver.
You don't want
gaining too
to
much
actually
weight.
refeed that fat. By consuming fructose, glucose, maltose, galactose, doesn't matter what, you are refeeding the adipose tissue. Any moment that you are consuming food, you stop to metabolize fat. This is, again, we need to understand, you're raising insulin. No matter what, even if you put quality keto foods, you are stopping that process. And we need to be really to value actually our situation and the food that we're consuming and all those stuff, and to create a diagram about our health. And to say at that moment, I cannot consume honey because I'm not ready for it. Maybe in a year or so, I will be able to reintroduce a teaspoon of honey, really quality honey.
Let's be honest, who can stop themselves at a teaspoon?
Yeah.
It's very tricky. Sugar is addictive and you won't be able to stop. You're going to start putting it in your tea. You're going to start putting it everywhere. And
and these enormous amounts of, maybe you're going to take a jar for 2 kilos, for example, 4 pounds. It doesn't matter, of honey.
What's interesting, on Grigos Keto, we have a recipe for keto honey substitute. Now, this keto honey substitute has a hint of aroma of honey. It doesn't have totally the same aroma. It's impossible because there's no sugar in it. But it has, because it has bee propolis, it has bee pollen, and it has grass-fed beef gelatin, some great spices which are usually going to those honey-infused cookies. It has this wonderful aroma, but it has more of a jello consistency, except if you leave it at room temperature and it becomes like a syrup. So if you would like, you can find a video recipe here on YouTube. We posted it 2 or 3 years ago. And ever since then, I made it every time when I'm making something that calls for honey. I'm making a little bit of grass-fed beef gelatin syrup, which is infused with propolis, bee pollen, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of clove, a little bit of nutmeg. It has a different, even lemon zest. So it has this nice aroma. It gives you even the great minerals, which are available from other bee products, not from actual honey, but from propolis and pollen. So I would like to read the comment a little bit.
Richard says the berries and roots of ancient times were also very small and not nearly as sweet, or in the case of roots, not as starchy.
Exactly, of roots. They were not starchy and they were not sugary. So they had a lot of antioxidants, vitamins, those good stuff. Well, too much antioxidants also is not good, but it's another subject. But they were much better for humans. So when they were consuming it, it was in seasonally, locally, what they were able to pick and eat immediately, because they didn't have fridges, they didn't have other stoves to make a marmalade, so they didn't have methods to preserve it. They would consume it only when it appeared somewhere on their path, and that was it. Paula says exactly would feed back bacteria. Exactly, honey would
come right back. Yeah.
So those who switch to carnivore for any health issue, that's not the good path. It can be animal product, even milk is animal product, but it's not good on carnivore or on keto whatsoever, because cow's milk has 11 grams of carbs. And we said on rigorous keto, we promote goat or sheep milk. Since it's not available to everybody around the globe, we just simply stay away from milk.
It's also the casein content,
Because
it's not so simple. I don't want to, again, let's go back to the molecules. What is lactose? What is all this carbohydrate, the 11 grams? They're lactose, which means is a molecule of glucose and of galactose together. So you need the body to produce lactase. This is an enzyme to break down that lactose. And you see that that's the reason we cannot think, we must think actually chemistry, we must think about biochemistry and all those stuff. We cannot think physics, we cannot think calories there. This is really important. You should understand that the body works with biochemistry, and it's really important to, again, write down all those stuff. We should know those stuff. We learned maybe in the school, in the college, doesn't matter, that this is happening in our bodies through biology, for example. So to go back in the milk, we know that contains or A1 or A2 casein. For example, let's say sheep, let's say goat, buffalo milk contains A2 casein.
Also camel, if it's available to you. I hear
donkey.
Camel cheese is available. Yak milk, and what other milk is A1? A2, sorry. Well, some other animals which are not usual, and the industry doesn't give those any chance to be available in the market.
The difference between A1 casein and A2 is just one amino acid in the protein chain, which is 200, almost 21 aminos in the row. And there is one difference, one simple amino, it's histidine in A1 and it becomes proline in A2. Just one amino in a chain of 200 plus aminos to make a polypeptide. It's changed the construction, it becomes poison. So it's really understand when we're consuming cow's milk, mozzarella from cow's milk, or whatever it's produced from cow's milk, even if it's biological, if it's really good, if it's my grandfather's or my grandmother's, will contain A1. So we don't want that.
Most of them. There are still some rare cows which do give A2 casein milk, but this is so rare. This is so
It
rare.
is, and
Yes.
Europe is overflooded after Second World War from
With-
those enormous cows that came from all over the world, or from Australia, or from USA.
From Netherlands mainly.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have them from Netherlands. We have them from Belgium. We have a lot of those cows that have been hybrid, actually cows with A2 and produce again A1. So
you're much
it's
safer
a very
with goat or sheep
Exactly.
if you can find. And I can tell you, there was a test. Somebody did a test on children and gave them 3 glasses. They gave them cows, goat, and sheep milk, and all the kids in this experiment preferred sheep's milk. For some reason, it was so tasty to them.
the fat content.
I think it's the fat content,
yeah,
because
exactly.
fat makes something tasty always. In combination with a little bit lactose, it's really tasty. But of course, if you are lactose intolerant, nothing will help you. So you're going to stay away from these products, and you're going to take fermented products which don't contain lactose, because the good bacteria are consuming lactose from those products, milk in general. And then you have really good probiotics. And this is how you can enjoy some dairy. But preferably, you're going to take organic goat or sheep dairy if you want to have better health.
Today, I just published in my Greek YouTube channel a video why in Keto Mediterranean diet, if you want, we're not consuming pork or chicken.
We get asked so many times why you don't why you talk so much against pork and chicken. Not only pork and chicken, in generally omnivores. We are not happy to see people eating that much omnivorous animal meat, because
monogastric, let's call them. I found several studies. I have one of them in front of me, and says the imbalance in the N6, omega-6 if you want, to N3, omega-3 again, ratio has been associated with numerous diseases, from cardiovascular and inflammatory diseases to diabetes and autoimmune disorders, and led to calls for rebalancing the ratio in the food supply, which means I'm following ketogenic diet for health purpose. I want to treat my diabetes. I want to drink my autoimmune disease. And what you're doing, you are keep consuming bacon, loads of chicken, loads of cow's cheese. I see these recipes, a lot of
they
lard.
call it bacon grease. Nothing worse than bacon grease. If you prepare something in bacon grease, this means that this omega-6 rich fat has already been exposed to high temperature, and you're exposing it on the second or third time to a high temperature. Omega-6 will be toxic for you in that case. So try to stay away from those things if you would like to have a healthier life.
We have lard in 1 tablespoon, which is 13 grams. The ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 is 10.2 to 1. 1 tablespoon.
So it's 10.2 to 1, let's say, gram. 10.2 grams of omega-6 to 1. Do you know how many sardines you have to eat to bring this to a balance?
Or cod liver oil.
Or how much of cod liver oil you will have to drink to bring this in balance. And have in mind that pork in general is very poor, and chicken especially, very poor in creatine. Carnitine. Today I made the same mistake, right? Okay, so
L-carnitine, yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not a nutritionist. He is. He knows these expressions, and he teaches me. So carnitine actually makes us feel healthier, stronger, and psychologically better. We feel so... when we have enough of carnitine in our diet, and the only way we can have it enough if we consume enough of red meat from lamb number 1, mutton, veal, and venison. So if you consume these types of meat at least 4 to 5 times per week, you will have enough of this great beneficial component, which makes us happier, healthier, and works.
Lamb has 190 milligrams per 100 grams.
Okay.
All right.
So 190 milligrams per 100, and we recommend always to eat at least 300 grams of lamb.
This is per 100 grams, maybe 3.5 ounces. If you want, if it's difficult for you to
milligrams are known to everybody.
Yeah. And
scientific.
while, for example, carrot has 0.4 in 100 grams or 3.5 ounces.
Okay, but let's compare it only to meats.
Okay, lamb, we said 190, while pork has 25.
You see, 190, 25, or chicken, even less.
Generally, poultry has 13.
13.
13. So it's really important
What
to
about
put
beef?
on the scale. Yeah,
Beef is
beef is
143.
143. Still,
So-
the lamb is on the top. You cannot beat that ruminant animal.
Mhm.
First of all, it's
Goat
young.
probably also has a
Yeah,
lot.
it's
Goat
young. They
meat.
don't have time to give antibiotics, steroids, whatever you want to
Mhm.
those animals.
Not only they
hormones.
don't have time, they can't
all
because
those
the animal
stuff.
would die.
Yeah,
So lamb is safest meat you can consume because it's grass-fed or milk-fed first, and after that is grass-fed, and there's no hello Darlene and welcome.
hi, Darlene.
Grass-fed, and after that you are sure that you have not been consuming meat.
The other good source is I can see here because there is the misconception that actually mushrooms is a plant-based food. It's not exactly that. It has 2.6.
microorganism.
Yeah,
So
it's a exactly. It's not a plant. So we need to put it in a separate category. It has 2.6. So that's the reason if you're gonna do a relaxed carnivore or maybe a zero carb, you can introduce a little bit of those mushrooms.
Yes,
They're
but
really good.
look, some people want to replace meat with mushrooms because mushrooms supposedly have protein. Yes, they do, but it's not the same type of aminos. And also there's no, stop me from making a mistake.
Yeah.
There's
carnitine.
no carnitine.
Yeah.
Carne. I have to think Spanish, not Greek.
And I'm going to tell you the truth. For me, it's really easy to remember carnitine because it's one of the heavily commercialized supplements in Greece. What do you want? You want to lose fat? Yeah, you have to take at least L-carnitine supplement in liquid form because it's going to mitochondria and it burns fat. Yeah, if you're going to eat 600 grams of carbohydrates per day, the L-carnitine is going to save the day.
It will not if you don't consume it naturally through meat.
Yeah, it's like you try to squeeze blood from a stone. You know, never is going to happen.
This is an interesting comparison. Blood from a stone, except if this stone comes from another planet.
Exactly. Paula says I use coconut oil, beef tallow, olive oil, and ghee for cooking. That's it.
That's a great,
that's
great
it.
way.
I think,
for
awesome.
cooking or frying, I would definitely stick with coconut or tallow. While for sauteing, I do use a little bit of olive oil sometimes, but I go for butter in most of the cases.
And those MCTs
goat
inside
butter would be on top.
MCTs are amazing. All those. If you have even coconut oil is a good source. Even though we cannot compare really coconut oil in omega-6 to omega-3, there is a dash there from the laboratories. It's almost nothing. It's something total. It's weird, for example, that have saturated fats. Coconut oil. It's if you're gonna see the constructions, so it's a little bit funny, I would say, but we know that it's something really quality because it cannot burn really easy. That we can fry. That's something amazing, and it can fuel us because it has a lot of MCTs, a lot of energy. Because
you're wearing this turtleneck, could you do something for me?
Yeah.
Can you say insanely great?
Insanely great.
You look like Steve Jobs.
Great. That's great.
Okay. We have to have fun. We have to make jokes. Sometimes, guys, this is the third postulate of Keto Mediterranean Diet. If you don't include enough of comedy and good feeling, spending some time with great people like we try to do every day, then the diet will be working, but not
monotonous.
Totally working to fix your life and fix everything.
You don't want to follow something that is dull. So,
and you don't want to be bored.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to cook nicely. You have to learn to make somebody happy with those meals. Organize dinners for family or for friends. Socialize with those that make you feel good. This is something that we keep repeating in each and every live we do, but it's really important. A couple of weeks ago, I reconnected with a very good friend, old friend of mine, and Apollonius also became a really good friend with him, and we spoke about this. When you get inspired by socializing with people who are open-minded, who are willing to change their life, and also who don't judge you by your diet, because this what we are doing obviously works. We are feeling better, healthier. We believe that Keto Mediterranean diet is the healthiest keto available to humans today, because a lot of things are not available to humans today. A lot of things are obsolete. We can't find them on this planet anymore. So whatever is still available, and it has been present in nutrition of ancient people, we should embrace it. But of course not wheat and not rice and not other cereals. We are talking about ancient, almost paleo nutrition, because what paleo diet had a good intention, but it included too much more than fruits, which never existed.
Fructose, again, we're talking about fructose.
Never existed.
Somebody else in my YouTube channel asked me about another diet, and I don't want to talk about it. And
which diet?
I don't remember how it's been called. Anyway, and it includes potatoes, includes fruits, includes this, includes that.
Oh, I know. It's some kind of diet which everything which is bio, it's okay. But you cannot find, for example, if you are not from Japan, you cannot find biological rice. You cannot find
Japan doesn't export
rice.
That's rice. Yeah, exactly.
The same goes for soy. You cannot find it. Where are you going to find organic potatoes?
Maybe in Latin America.
Because they need to be so small. Not even Latin America.
Not only this, but maybe we don't carry the DNA for that. It's something
altered.
Yeah, it's something totally different. When I was making a research about, for example, emmer, and we have spelt, we have so many other wheats.
Varieties of modern
The
wheat.
chromosomes, the change of the chromosomes is enormous. The nano wheat the common white flour we have now, we don't have in our houses, well, let's say that way, but we used to consume. It has approximately 64 to 70 chromosomes, while einkorn or emmer has 5 or 12.
If you could find einkorn, I think Richard told us that he found it.
Yeah, that's a different.
It,
again, we're going into those small atoms, molecules that they are playing vital role. What's going on? We try to alter, because what is a trans fat? Somebody sat in the laboratory to feed you.
A lot of them, not somebody. A lot of somebodies.
A lot of somebodies, yeah. They sat in the laboratories, so to laboratory. Yeah. To make something new, something different. And if you're going to see the chemical construction, this is a cis fat, which in chemistry it seems the two hydrogens, they look each other. And this is a trans fat. The one hydrogen is here, the other is here. That's hydrogenated. So you understand, somebody sat and made all this, and they said, hey, why you're consuming butter? The doctors still in Greece, they say, you must not consume butter. You should consume margarine. Something that is trans fat.
They're selling you poison for good, because, this myth has been going on for 3 decades, I think. It started in the 70s.
Yeah, it's since 70s, almost 50 years,
So that's almost 50
half a century, yeah. And the enormous trick with calories is going almost for 100 years. Plus, blah, 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 blah. We know when to put an end to these fairy tales.
Guys, we have to fight against it. I know that you already, if you're watching Grigos Keto, you already know this. And you probably are including only the healthy sources of fat in your diet. But you really need to spread the news to those who are willing to listen. If they're not willing to listen, just be a great example to them. Show them how healthy and good you are looking and how great you're feeling. And some of your achievement, whether it's in sports or it's in business or in art. Why not art? That's my field. So if you show them that you are successful in everything you do in your life, and especially when it comes to diet, that's the best way to show them that they need to change their lifestyle. They need to change the source of fat and reduce the source of carbohydrates and intake a little bit more protein. Guys, we can't stress this enough. Protein is protos, which in Greek means first, primary. You need to consume more protein, good sources of protein.
Definitely.
Patty says...
I graduated, in the 70s.
She graduated
Good thing
in
KMDs
70s.
make me younger every year. That's great.
Very good. We are really happy to hear that you are sticking to KMD. I hope you also checked some of the new recipes we posted, and maybe you will try to prepare one of them. It's our pleasure whenever we receive feedback, when we receive photos, when somebody makes something or even makes a tweak, but healthy tweak. Not long ago, somebody posted a healthy recipe which included tons of erythritol. Could you please cover this subject? Why we think erythritol is not a good sweetener?
Again, we're going to go back in the molecular structure. And first of all those companies are very proud that they're extracting that erythritol from corn. You are consuming, again, something that you shouldn't. Let's start from that.
Genetically modified corn,
Exactly.
because there isn't organic corn on the market. It doesn't exist.
Anyway, even if it's a biological, why you should consume something from...
Cannot be biological, because
even,
corn originally was a grass.
I'm going back. Even though you know that this thing makes you sick, corn, especially nowadays, that's going to make you sick, because maybe if you're not a 100% healthy person and you start ketogenic diet because you like it or because you want to experience all that, and I know the majority of the people that started following to at least KMD, they had some health issues or something else. And you want to reintroduce a byproduct of a thing that makes you sick. This is the mentality that I don't understand.
It's not even it's like tri-product, quadri-product. How many processes corn went to extract?
And usually they're very proud that their corn is non-GMO, and they keep the quantity is 98 to 99% with 1% of stevia. And that's what actually flooded the market. After that, it creates enormous problem in the gastrointestinal tract, and especially in the microbiome. It's really important to keep those. We talked, Paula wrote about the bacteria and all those stuff. Need to be in balance. If you are not have in balance and you have more Escherichia coli, for example, you're going to be sick, or some other bacteria or Staphylococcus or whatever. You know, you need to be careful. So
rare occasions such as Christmas or Easter or any other celebration you have throughout the year, and you can use a sweetener based on stevia, monk fruit mixed with erythritol, but I would rather go, if it's available to you, go for the extracts, 100% extract of monk fruit, number 1, and stevia, number 2. Don't go for erythritol if you have these two sweeteners available.
It was a really difficult period because not only from what is happening in the world generally, but also, you know, we have festivities, Christmas, New Year's, that, a lot of sweets.
We tried to celebrate. Everybody tried to celebrate a bit more because the whole year was
a disaster.
Messed up. It was a disaster. All the plans were changed. Many people actually say, I had a great year. Yes, but you can't be so selfish and not see other people. Most of the people I feel with my dear friends in UK who are struggling a lot with the worst type of lockdown and fear of virus. Greece is also in a total lockdown. Our neighbor in Croatia is in the lockdown. We are not. Here where we live, everything's open, so we are surviving. So I understand, because I have the possibility to go out, possibility to go shop to the farms, to marketplaces, etc. And even hotels, spas, everything works here. This doesn't mean that I don't feel the problems of people all around the world. Zora is with us, and she says that they can't get monk fruit in Germany. Actually, you can. Did you check? Did you check Amazon Day? I am sure that Amazon Deutschland or Amazon Day is sending. And also, Zora, what I can recommend you is to check iHerb, because this company will definitely ship to Germany. It's the best brand Well, there are many brands, but make sure that it's organic and that it's 100% extract. Try to take alcohol extract, because glycerol extracts are also problematic for the guts. So iHerb.com and then monk fruit, and you will be able to
maybe
get
Amazon doesn't have it, because I just checked Amazon today.
iHerb has it, and it's about €8, a small package of extract. So you will be able, just a few drops, you don't need more. You don't have to
it's a problem, because as far I know, it's not yet through European Union been certificated.
Well, iHerb has the warehouses in Europe, so it's gonna come in a couple of days.
And especially in Germany,
I think they are in Germany.
Really,
I'm not sure.
Maybe Netherlands. Usually
or
they have
Netherlands.
Yeah,
they are located in Europe, so you will get them really, really fast. If I lived in Germany, I wouldn't even think. I would order like 10 packages and have my whole year
it's
covered.
really easy. It's really easy, and I think monk fruit is a great choice.
We would wait around 20 days to get it here, but in Germany it's going to come much
in less than a week.
So we covered this. So let's go back to this subject which you covered today. At the end of the you were talking about ruminant meats, etc., and why actually in Greece, which is the biggest producer of lamb, people don't eat enough of it. Even their ancestors actually ate only this goat and lamb and mutton. But in the end, you touched a lot with the lifestyle, where people are sourcing the food, how they're finding it. Everybody goes to supermarket. It's the worst place to shop, right?
You cannot shop meat in the supermarket. Maybe once just happen and you don't know what to do and you have to shop from the supermarket. I understand.
Yeah.
It can happen to everybody, but to make that a habit and keep just shopping because this is something you want to, as a conformism, it's really comfy to go to the supermarket, just buy everything, let's go home. It's
supermarkets actually usually don't have a lot of good ingredients for Keto Mediterranean diet. But for example, if you live in the United States, and that's the worst place to buy organic meat, because it's very expensive there and it's difficult to find it. But what you can do is go to ethnic markets. For example, Asian markets or European markets or those Mediterranean markets.
You have.
Almost every big city has it, and towns also have it.
Even smoked meat you have.
Exactly. If make it once per month or once per week when you can, take a small trip, go to that market and shop yourself organic, grass-fed lamb, mutton, goat, or even veal. I know it's also very expensive, but invest in these and stay away from supplements. Just save the money that you would invest in supplements and go and buy some organic, real food.
You have to narrow down that list, and that's going to help you a lot. You need to go a little bit strict. Since you're going to go strict, you're going to understand what you really worth in your nutrition, what doesn't.
Renaki has a...
Hello, Rena.
Hello, Rena.
I've been watching you, says dearest friends. Very interesting topics, as always. I'll agree with sugar addiction.
Thank you so much for being a great admin in Greek group. I've noticed that you are answering so nicely to each and every newbie. You are a heart for me to you. You are really knowledgeable and you really are loyal to Keto Mediterranean Diet. So thank you for that. She says it came back to me lately after the health issues I faced. Could you read it, please?
It says, I hate being weak. During the festive season, I got carried away. I'm fighting it. I know how I have been best weapon came diet.
Exactly. The best weapon, but also it's just a lifestyle. You can, for example, a friend of mine who recently switched to KMD says, okay, I will start. I promise I will not cheat, but please allow me to have occasional dessert made from your recipes. I said, yes, but even those recipes for the beginners, there are those such as jellos or simple recipes, simple fat bombs, you can make them. But don't go for cake, don't go for nut-based flours, don't go for
we are trying
omega-6.
We're trying to cover that gap that we have, that I cannot have these old habits in the new way of living and eating. You must not. You need to kill that at once. Since you're going to manage to do that, you're going to cut the head of the snake, you finished there.
Exactly. The snake is always, like Apollo did, the snake is always cut. Where's the head?
Exactly. After that, you have the control. You want to have the control in your situation. You don't want the food to manage you, to take control over you. You want to do that, to choke it, and stay away. Yeah, stay away from those things that make you feel or be weak. You know that I'm weak because I must put monk fruit, erythritol, doesn't matter what in my coffee. No, you must not. Why you have to? If you don't have it available in your home, again, all those stuff are available in our home, not in the corner shop or wherever. We have it now. Put it in a nice little baggie, throw it from the window, and you solve your problem. That's it.
You're talking about sugar, honey, and artificial all those sweeteners. Stuff. Keep a little bit of good, friendly sweetener. Don't throw monk fruit.
You can have this friendly sweetener, but if you see that is compromising your results, you have
to get rid of it. Okay.
Exactly.
So this is more like be a good soldier. And
that's going to be just for a short period, You want to make an adaptation. You want to make a really good beginning to set really good boundaries. Since you have this, you can build your tower slowly. If you can have weak boundaries, it's going to collapse. So easy.
It's true.
And you know it. You don't need me or anybody to tell you that.
Okay. So do we have any comments, any questions? 46 minutes live. The time passed like this.
Yeah, easy peasy.
So quickly. I don't know about you guys, but we are always enjoying when we have the possibility to answer live questions. We do receive a lot of questions in our inbox, so we are trying to answer them later during the live, or maybe write about. Sometimes I get inspired and I write an article based on a question or a comment we received on Grigos Keto social media. So just to make everybody comfortable with asking questions, Apollonas is certified level 2 nutrition therapist, and I have more than 20 years of experience in cooking, baking, and experimenting, and especially 5 years of keto experimenting. So, well, first low carb, and then another 4 years of keto. So this is Keto Mediterranean. So this is a point from where we could answer questions. So whatever comes to mind, don't hesitate. Send us a question, send us an email, send us whatever form of communication you can find. But live is much better. Any questions, please? Let's see. Let's wait. If any of our 12 viewers has something to add to today.
Yeah, it's really important, guys. Remember that, as I told you, because I'm getting a lot of questions about the meat and all those stuff as we start the video about all those stuff about pork and chicken and those omega-6. People asking me why they're not putting, for example, those antibiotics and hormones in the other meats that you are suggesting. Yes, but it's up to you to find out a good source. You can buy a normal, for example, beef that costs $5, you can buy the extremely good, high-quality beef, which is costing $10. I told you, this is an investment. It's not that you are spending your money. That's the difference.
Again, the reason why we invite you to eat younger meat, veal or at least younger calf, is the fact that the older the animal is, the chances of it was treated with antibiotics or some other medication are higher. So that's why you don't want to consume too much beef. You would rather take lamb, veal, younger calf, etc. So since we didn't have any questions, I guess we're going to close this evening's live. With greatest wishes to everybody, and we would like to invite you to go and check. We have a couple of new recipes published on Grigos Keto. We also have an article which we published on New Year's Eve, and it's about, Apollonas is going to type it here for those who don't know, grigosketo.com, our website. We put a lot of love, a lot of energy, and a lot of investigation before publishing any of the articles. So give us a read. We love to hear when somebody reads an article and gives us feedback.
Exactly. Food, inspiration, history, everything is there.
Darlene has a question.
I wanted to tell you, says, the donuts I made were excellent, but I cannot make them often. I would eat them all.
Yeah, I know. She talks about fritule. Keto-frittule.
Keto-frittule, yeah, they're amazing.
I made this, well, they are...
We haven't ketule.
We have kettle, and also we have those big donuts. So the recipe is actually for the carnival, which comes in March. Once per year, I'm making frittule, and they are traditional. If you follow a typical Mediterranean tradition, you know that there, for every celebration, for every season, there's a cake, or there's something which is in particular good for that period. So this is a great protocol which we keep inviting everybody to follow. Make keto dessert once per month. Make it your nominia, and this is a celebration like in ancient Greek time, whatever you celebrate. Maybe in your culture there isn't this carnival. Maybe in your culture there isn't even Christmas or something else. But wherever you live in this world, once per month, make it your own ketonian holiday, and then make a treat. This is how you're
That's gonna save you guys, because you're eating still keto with really quality nutritional dense foods that's gonna keep you on track. That will not send you far away, because you're gonna be, as I told you, compromised, and we won't want more of that awful let's say old habit foods you need to consume. Okay, Zora says your webpage is wonderful, such pretty pictures. Thank you, Zora.
Thank you, Zora.
One can see that you put a lot of effort into this.
Thank you so much. We do, and we actually love when we have feedback. We also love posting testimonials, so you can read about Paula, about Richard, and some other ketonians, Scott, stories of people who tried Keto Mediterranean diet and it changed their lives.
Successful
Paula
stories,
says, take care, thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us. Elena says, thanks for your live, thanks for your support. To you also, because you are a huge support to us. So we appreciate whenever a ketonian talks to us or asks us a question. You are not bothering us. Don't worry. We will give our best to give answers. And we want everybody to be good, healthy, to live long and happy life.
Exactly.
So we're going to end it with the typical stay ketonized.
To the full potential, guys.
And please, guys, stay positive. We have this under control. Everything will get to normal or to good. Maybe it's going to be
slowly,
even better.
I think step by step. Darlene says, we love you guys. Love you back.
We love you too. Patty, take care. Thank you. We have another comment from...
Manel says,
following for only a week,
but already feeling so good.
So good. That's great.
Awesome.
That's great news. We hope you will have even more success. I think approximately 4 weeks. In the 4th week, you're going to feel all the superpowers of Keto Mediterranean diet. Stay ketonized to the full potential and always positive. Kisses.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.